G'day, my name is Wilfred West from Locksport, Victoria, Australia, and today's date is the 30th of the 11th, 2015. Now, I just went for a drive to the post office to put some letters in for Mum's Home for Christmas and all that, and just down here, you'll come and see it soon, there'll be two kangaroos coming across the road. I hope we can see it here now. So Mum and Joey, by the look of that, going across down there. Now down here you turn to the left is the Locksport Holiday Park, and you go left and to the right you've got the boat club, and also a place where you can put your boats in and stuff like the boat ramp, and a nice little pier there. Now I hope you like this video, and if so, please subscribe. I'm just going to let this run, and another video, another kangaroo came near the last road. It sort of looked at me, I slowed down and I went back down the road just before that, and we had some interesting birds fly past through here as well. I do hope you enjoy the video, and if so, please subscribe.
On our world, and we must do all we can to defeat them. They are evil, Deputy Speaker. We must do everything we can from a military sense, from a diplomatic sense, from a political sense. It's got to be a holistic and coherent and cohesive approach. A military response, we've got to have a political response, we've got to have a diplomatic response, and as I said before, a humanitarian response. But most important, Deputy Speaker, the best way for us to respond is by standing in solidarity, united together, not by dividing, by joining together in love, not dividing in hate. And I think, Deputy Speaker, I want to conclude with the words of the French ambassador. I was at a function at his residence just last week. It was a function with French industry, and he made a very powerful and compelling speech that was deeply moving for everyone who was there. And as he said at that event, which the Foreign Minister attended, and I do encourage all Australians to follow his words. It was an act of defiance in a way. It was an act of sending a very positive message out to all Australians and to the world that we are alive and we are not afraid.
I thank the member for Canberra, the clerk.
Government business, order for day number 3. Australian citizenship and independent allegiance to Australia Bill 2015, resumption of debate and second reading.
Question is, the bill be now read a second time. I call the minister. Thanks very much, Sean.
Yes.
I was just saying, up the Australian Citizenship Amendment, Allegiance to Australia Bill 2015. Thank the honourable members for their contribution to this debate. Acknowledge it has attracted a lot of discussion both in this place and in the broader Australian community. Allegiance is a duty owed by all citizens to their sovereign state. This bill emphasises the central importance of allegiance to Australia in the concept of citizenship. Australia does face a heightened and complex security environment. In this environment, this bill will bolster Australia's national security arrangements with measures to protect the community from persons who have clearly renounced their allegiances to Australia by engaging in serious terror-related acts that harm Australians or Australian interests. This national security threat is unprecedented in our history, and the Australian government has struck the right balance between ensuring dual nationals demonstrate their allegiance to our country if they wish to retain the privilege of Australian citizenship. This bill is an important piece of legislation that will strengthen Australia's ability to confront the challenges posed by dual nationals who betray Australia by participating in serious terrorism-related activities. The bill does this by providing the government with 3 mechanisms for responding to dual citizens who pose a terrorist threat to Australia. Firstly, it provides for automatic renunciation of citizenship from the time a person engages in terrorism-related conduct. Secondly, it recognises automatic cessation of citizenship where a person engages in fighting for or in the service of a declared terrorist organisation. Thirdly, it provides the Minister with the power to determine the loss of a person's citizenship if they've been convicted of a terrorism-related offence. I'd like to thank the Parliamentary Joint Committee on Intelligence and Security for its work on this bill. through its inquiry and recommendations. In particular, I'd like to thank the Chair, Dan Seaton, and the Deputy Chair, Mr Anthony Byrne, for their hard work and assistance. I'd also like to extend my thanks and appreciation to the department, in particular to Pip DeVoe and to Ian Dean, to all of their team, and thanks also to my staff who have provided great assistance as well as others within this bill. The government's adopted the committee's recommendations to the fullest extent possible. These amendments provide this Parliament with an appropriate level of scrutiny and oversight in the exercise of these important and sensitive new measures. In accordance with the recommendations of the PJCIS, the government has amended the bill further to include additional safeguards in the application of these new provisions. It has clarified that in relation to my power as Minister to make a determination to rescind a notice or not, the person can seek judicial review under Section 75 of the Constitution or in the Federal Court of Australia under Section 39B of the Judiciary Act of 1903 if I choose to exercise that power. Also, a person can seek review on the basis on which a notice was issued, including whether or not the requisite conduct was engaged in by the person, whether the person engaged in that conduct with the requisite intent, and whether or not the person was a dual citizen at the time of the conduct. This implements recommendation 14 of the Committee report. In addition, the rules of natural justice will apply in instances where I decide to consider my power as Minister in relation to the making of a determination to rescind a notice or not. The rules of natural justice include the hearing rule and the bias rule. I'd like to thank all members for their comments in the debate on this important bill. It's a measure of this bill's significance to the security of Australia that so many members of this House have contributed to this discussion. In conclusion, this bill is about protecting Australians and Australians at a time when we face a heightened and complex security environment. It has important new measures to deal with those who have engaged in conduct that is contrary to their allegiance to Australia. On that basis, Mr Deputy Speaker, I commend the bill to the House.
I thank the Minister. The question is, the bill be now read a second time. All those in favour say aye. To the contrary, no. I think the ayes have it. Revision required. Ring the bells for 4 minutes.
Possible to see the entirety of the nose came from, but large section back of the chamber, led by Abode, the Australian Greens, and 2 independents, Kevin McGowan and Andrew Wilkie. So let's have a look at some of the day's news. And as the Prime Minister joins 150 other world leaders at the United Nations climate change talks in Paris, back home, his Treasurer is ramping up political arguments about Australia's emissions reductions target. The government is sticking to the Abode government's target of a 26 to 28% cut in emissions by 2030. Labour leader Bill Shorten has announced that he'll work towards a cut of 45%. The Treasurer today described it as a job-crunching, economy-munching carbon tax on steroids. In Canberra is our political correspondent, Louise Yaxley.
The Prime Minister had already called Labor's plan heroic. Now, the Treasurer Scott Morrison's gone much further.
It is bemusing to me why the opposition would go into a job-crunching, economy-munching carbon tax on steroids to meet a 45% target. I mean, it is really quite reckless.
But Labor's environment spokesman Mark Butler insists Australia needs to have stronger targets than the government is proposing.
My name's Wilfred West from Locksport, Victoria, Australia, signing off. Thank you again for watching my videos, and all comments are welcome. You all have a great day now.
With our overriding commitment